You're not biting into a fresh, homemade biscuit. You're finishing a factory project. Popeyes biscuits arrive pre-shaped and frozen, then get baked off in-store for that fresh smell. That uniform size? It's not grandma's recipe, it's industrial molds. Now let's talk why that matters for your wallet and your health. We'll show how extended heat lamp times, inspection notes on holding temps, and a 20-plus ingredient list, preservatives, artificial butter flavor, even trace trans fat, turn a simple side into a designed craving machine. Stay with me, because once you see how the system works, you'll never read fresh baked the same way. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great, thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. You smell warm dough and see those neat rounds. Same height, same edges, same split. If hands made them, why don't they ever wobble or lean? Let's start with the promise. You walk in and the sign says fresh baked. The script is home kitchen comfort, straight from the oven, steam rising, butter melting. But here's the kicker. The real flow in many chains is boxes of pre-shaped pucks. Staff load trays, set timers, and finish them in-store. The oven gives you the scent and the shine.
Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen got its start in the early 1970s in New Orleans. Founder Al Copeland grew up poor in the Big Easy.
The big story over the past 30 or 40 years has been the rise of chicken consumption. Chicken went in the late 1970s from being a minority meat, at least relative to beef and pork. Particularly in the 80s and 90s, there was a lot of concern among consumers about the consumption of fat and cholesterol.
Organizations like the World Health Organization and the U.S. Department of Health have linked red meat with cancer and heart disease.
The shape came from somewhere else. The playbook is standard. Dough gets mixed at a central plant where every step is measured. Uniform cutters stamp out perfect rounds. Those rounds get flash frozen to lock the rise and stop the clock. They travel hard and cold, then get the in-store warm up so the room smells like baking. That smell sells fresh. The clock started weeks ago. It's closer to a model kit than cooking. Snap the pieces out, place them just so, bake, serve. You feel like you saw the process.
In New Orleans, it's a culture. Popeyes is a culture in New Orleans. From football with the Saints to LSU, to Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is one of our biggest times of the year. Well, I've been doing this for over 30 years. So if I can look at Popeyes and I can see the crust and I can see the kernels popping off the chicken, and then when you bite into it, it's that flavor because it hits you all at once. They never have lunch with the other group. Never. And they'll do their part, and they'll slide their ingredients, what they completed, over to the next group, and then they finish it. So it's a big secret. So you cannot...
You saw the last step. Chains chase consistency because it's money. Identical size means the same bake time across a rack. Controlled rise means fewer rejects. Predictable timing means one employee can run an oven, a register, and a drive-thru. Less waste, faster lines, tighter costs. That system needs help from the ingredient side. Not a long list here, but common tools show up. Preservatives to hold texture, dough conditioners for lift on schedule, and a butter-like aroma that blooms under heat. The goal isn't your grandma's crumb. It's a biscuit that behaves the same on a Tuesday at 3 p.m. and a Saturday rush. So when the label says fresh, it often means freshly heated. That gap matters. You're paying diner prices for the last 10 minutes of a product engineered to wait, travel, and brown on cue.
Popeyes nearly doubled its Twitter followers to 180,000. More importantly, the company saw sales surge, almost 10% as stores opened more than a year in the third quarter of 2019. One analyst estimated that while in stock, Popeyes sold about 1,000 chicken sandwiches per store a day, and that the sandwiches alone accounted for 30% of sales, compared to less than 1% growth in the same period the year prior. With lines out the door about 2 weeks after the launch, the chain ran out of chicken sandwiches.
Now let's move on to what that finish line bake does to safety, texture, and why those biscuits can sit under a glowing lamp far longer than you'd guess. If they're so fresh, why do you see racks built to keep them hot for hours? That isn't an accident. Ovens are set for big batches, timers march in step, and trays move straight to heat lamps to ride through lunch and dinner. The fresh story keeps going while the biscuit just sits there, glowing. Let's start with how that backroom runs. Staff load a rack, bake a wave, then park it under heat so the line never slows. Those lamps don't just hold. They keep cooking. And the longer a biscuit waits, the more it changes. Health inspection notes call out holding temps and long sits. Former staff talk about trays living under lamps far longer than you'd expect. The truth is, labor targets and speed goals push volume. That means the biscuit has to survive time, not just shine at minute 5.
At the peak of the chicken sandwich wars, the chains collectively had over 10 million visitors.
We launched our great tasting chicken sandwich last year in August. Then, as you well know, we had to pull it back.
By November 2019, the Popeyes chicken sandwich, made of a chicken breast filet hand batter and breaded in buttermilk coat and served on a brioche bun with either spicy or regular mayo, was back in action. As of August 2020, Popeyes sold more than 203 million chicken sandwiches. The company reported second quarter same-store sales in August 2020 grew nearly 25%.
It's logistics dressed as comfort food. Now the texture trade. Heat pulls moisture from the crust while the center compacts. What started as a crisp edge and tender center turns into a rubbery shell with a dense core. Like reheating a slice of pizza until the cheese is tough and the bottom is stiff. Same problem, different starch. Cross-contamination risk climbs in tight kitchens. Biscuit prep shares space with fry stations. Grease mist travels. Surfaces collect residue. When rush hits, cleaning slips. That's how crumbs, oil, and raw juice get too close for comfort. There's also the formula. These biscuits bring a long ingredient deck, high sodium and calories, plus flavor additives, including artificial butter notes. That stack isn't an accident. It's tuned for what food scientists call the bliss point. Salt, fat, and a hint of sweet, delivered hot with a butter smell, nudge you to grab one more. It feels like comfort. It's engineered. So the mini payoff lands here. What reads as fresh-baked comfort is often a held-hot, flavor-optimized, low-nutrient side with real trade-offs in safety and quality. So what is the takeaway for your wallet and your plate? Let's land it. Fresh-baked often means freshly heated, a factory biscuit finished for scent, shelf life, and impulse appeal. You get the aroma and the color, not true scratch work. The truth is, that last oven step sells the story while the real work happened far away. You have choices. Read the ingredient list. Ask about holding times. If you want a real biscuit, grab one from a local bakery or make a 5-ingredient batch at home. Flour, butter, buttermilk, salt, baking powder. Clean, quick, honest. If this gave you something to chew on, like and subscribe to help us keep the spotlight on the food industry's best-kept secrets. And next up, fast food gravy.